Welcome to Harbor Rock Wealth Management's Planning Tip of the Week. My name is Ruben Smith. As always, I am joined by my good friend and partner, Jimmy Lester. Welcome.
Good to see you again. Thank you.
Awesome. Happy you're here. Today we're going to talk about we're going to provide a pre-retirement checklist.
Okay.
Before we dive into that, I'm assuming stat of the day, or are we going to pass today?
No, we're not gonna. I definitely got a
Shocker.
couple for you. So, 1978, great year, by the way. Hint, hint. August 31st.
And you're old.
Remember? Yeah. In 1978, Halloween, the original Halloween,
Okay.
was released.
All right.
Well, so 'tis the season.
That's right.
And Jamie Lee Curtis made her film debut.
Was that her first film?
first film?
Okay.
So, we went on to see her in super great stuff like Trading Places, amongst others,
Mm-hmm.
and plenty of Halloweens, like Halloween 30, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. But that was pretty cool. And also, so this is the stats of the day
30.
having to do with debuts. So Karl Malone, one of the greatest power forwards in history,
Okay.
1985,
Mhm.
made his debut on this day in sports history with the Utah Jazz. He was also known as the mailman because
Mhm.
he always delivered in the post.
Hmm.
So he was a good one.
Polarizing player. Not my favorite
So I heard recently.
as a Laker fan.
No, seriously, he was tough. So I heard actually yesterday they were talking about Karl Malone. So they were Robert Ory
Okay.
was being interviewed, and he said, "Who are the people that you would least like to take a charge from in your career?" First, number one was Shaq in practice.
It
Yeah,
happened.
Yeah, Shaq in practice. Yeah, he's all, no, Shaq's just totally, he'd remind you that you're that big,
Right.
And then Charles Barkley.
Okay.
He said you didn't mess with Barkley. And then Malone was the last one. He said when the mailman's on his way in, just move out of the way.
Yeah, not worth it.
So,
Wow.
yeah, good stuff.
Good stuff. Yeah, because we have basketball season starting up
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and all that. Cool.
Yeah, it's
Very
right.
good.
Mhm.
All right. So when it comes to this pre-retirement checklist, this is something that really should be started 5 to 10 years out from retirement. Okay, and the reason being is that there's a lot of variables there. If you start planning ahead 5 to 10 years out, you're gonna give yourself the time, hopefully, to fill in any potential gaps that are seen with your upcoming retirement.
Okay.
And hopefully you're in the highest earning years as well, so you have the financial means to maybe expedite those gaps.
Sure.
This isn't meant to be put this check place into use 5 to 10 weeks before retirement, or even 5 to 10 months.
Right.
Even though it's probably possible, you want to make sure you're doing your due diligence, and everything that we talk about here is under your control.
Well, just because you're not making finite decisions 10 years in advance doesn't mean you can't start having these conversations. I mean, things you don't even know exactly what your life is going to be looking like in
Right.
5 to 10 years. There might be a financial change, health change.
Sure.
You might move. There's a lot of things that can happen that your plan 10 years earlier on the checklist isn't finite.
Right.
So.
Well, there's a lot of we have come across clients over the years that have made the decision to retire or already in retirement prior to sequing us out or seeking guidance, and
Yep.
sometimes it works out, but more often than not, it would probably have been in their best interest if they had started that process earlier.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's almost like, now you're hypersensitive or hyper aware all at once. Everything's sped up when time should be you should be slowing life down a little bit,
Right.
and redirecting your energy and time to things that you want to do, like spend time with grandkids,
Mm-hmm.
garden, yoga, a club or organization, travel.
It shouldn't be a stressful time.
It shouldn't be a thing where you're like, oh my
yeah,
God. Well, it kind of makes sense though, because you think about it, 25, 30 years that you're working, let's say in a traditional workplace where you have a retirement vehicle that you're
Mhm.
contributing to, you're not how often are you looking at that statement for real? Maybe a few adjustments over the years.
Right.
Like how involved are you in
Right.
this process other than you contribute out of your paycheck and it's out of sight, out of mind. And now all of a sudden it's here. It might have felt, gave you some comfort to address this a little bit earlier.
Right.
piece
Well,
by piece.
a lot of what we're going to talk about, or everything that we're going to talk about today, is all controllable. So I always say control the controllables.
Yeah.
What's not in our control? Okay. Uh,
Yeah, the
unforeseen,
stock market,
well, yeah,
market
unforeseen life
performance.
events, markets,
Yeah,
right? We can't control what markets are going to do. We can allocate or invest your money appropriately,
sure.
but or what we think is appropriately given your objectives. But the main thing here is that we want you to start taking ownership or being involved in your financial plan or what your retirement's going to look like.
Okay.
Um, by doing so, you're going to become engaged. You're going to understand it. You're going to naturally take a deeper interest in this.
Okay.
Even though finances can be debilitating for investors and clients, it's really important for you to take more control over this. And the easiest way to do that is to work with an advisor. They're going to be there to advocate for you. Hopefully, hold your hand through all of these conversations, and be there with you to help guide you in making these decisions.
No, that makes sense. Why wait till there's some irreversible moment or something that's really difficult to unravel or address? Just like well, like we talk about sometimes, the analogies of like, why do you have to wait till you have a horrible illness to see a doctor, or you don't feel good?
Right.
Why not? Or see a therapist? Why do you have to wait till things are really bad?
Right.
What about talking to them when things are really good and addressing the things that you're doing well, and kind of staying ahead of things, or with car maintenance or all those things? Why wait for the engine to blow?
Right.
Why wait for 180,000 miles?
Yes.
Maybe address this a little
That's a
earlier.
good point. I like that analogy. The
Yeah.
car. Yeah.
Check under the hood.
Change your oil.
Yeah.
At 30 or 50,000, whenever that service is, do the service.
Fluids and tires, man. Fluid and tires. That's about, if you don't do anything to your car, fluid and tires.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. Well, I like that. So when it comes to working with an advisor, obviously we lean towards having a bias in working with a CFP. We're held to a higher standard of fiduciary standards over our clients. We're also well versed in anything that our clients might see.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just stocks and bonds. It's not just asset allocation, which I think is a big kind of a misconception of what do you want from your advisor. It's I want to make money. I want them to make me money.
Make me money. Well, what else do you do? What else is in your bag of tricks, right? Yeah.
Which I get it. At the end of the day, clients' portfolios need to make money. We need our money to work for us.
Sure.
And I understand that. However, especially in times like this where markets have been challenging, your traditional multi-asset or diversified portfolio isn't doing all that hot this year. So it hasn't paid to be diversified. Now, does that mean you go out and chase returns and maybe extend risk? I would think not.
Well, this is the ultimate. It seems like the ultimate time. If you read about it in the journal, it's too late.
Yeah.
Like this isn't this isn't paint by number, ladies and gentlemen. This is where your advisor is earning their stripes.
Right. So So working with a seasoned advisor, a CFP preferably, you're going to get a more well-rounded experience and consult on things that aren't necessarily just asset allocation.
This is full physical.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, really. I mean,
you want us to review your homeowner's insurance policy
Right,
or your umbrella
right.
liability umbrella insurance policy? I mean, yes, those are things that we're well versed in as well.
Yeah.
So going back to the advisor earning their stripes. So why is that? So not only are they building a financial plan, a customized plan, which will model out your retirement, they're also going to hold your hand on some of the work that you have to do as the client. And what is that? That's going to be fine tuning a budget.
Yeah.
So I'd say that's number one, our client's biggest hurdle when we ask them to give us their budget. More often than not, we get a ballpark number.
Yep.
And I hate to say this, but it's garbage in, garbage out. The more granular you are with the inputs on your plan, the more accurate the plan will be.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
makes sense.
Especially in making a big decision of retirement.
Yeah.
Okay.
More control.
Yeah.
More control.
Absolutely. And as Americans, we're notoriously bad savers, and we're not good at keeping budgets or maintaining.
Are you talking to me?
I'm not talking to you.
All right. All right.
So by going through that process, not only do I identify a budget and a more accurate budget, but from there we are able to identify your specific income needs, right? What is it going to take to maintain your lifestyle? What are your income sources the fixed income sources that you'll have? Maybe you have access to a pension, maybe or Social Security. What is that going to play out to be? And then from there, based off your income needs, is really how we start customizing a portfolio and then looking at how to generate the specific income needed for you to maintain your lifestyle. So, working with an advisor, you're going to be more proactive in your own financial health.
Yep.
Okay. Now, to take it a step further, you also need to do a physical health review. We want you to go out and really take a deep dive on your own personal well-being as well. Hopefully, for the first 50 years of your life or so, you've been relatively healthy and not needing to go to the doctor all that much. But this is the time to also be proactive in your own well-being.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. It's like what we talk about, the healthier wealth. Well, you need to literally check under the hood.
Absolutely.
What good is that if you're not going to be around with your family and your friends to enjoy this time and next chapter of your life? And it's all about staying ahead of things that can be addressed. And
yeah, well, yeah. If you think about it, there's so many advancements in medical technology.
Oh yeah,
that people are living longer and longer. Well, if there happens to be something
yeah.
that's worth addressing, it's better to catch it now,
yeah,
right, than down the road.
For sure.
So the next item on the checklist is going to be an estate plan review. So this is where you'll work with an estate attorney to either identify, or if you already have an estate plan in place, to update your plan, making sure that the executors, successor trustees, the power of attorneys, those who will make both medical and financial decisions for you, should you become incapacitated. That's where this comes into play. Also, when it comes into legacy planning, so identifying and making sure that your beneficiaries are updated.
Yep.
What type of legacy do you want to leave? So this is all very important. And more often than not, these are done in what are called revocable trusts. So these aren't set in stone. These are things that can evolve with you as life evolves, right?
Yep,
So if you do need to make a change, certainly you can.
Yep. It sounds like all the things we're talking about. I guarantee there's going to be some viewers out there that, I've done all this.
They're going to fast forward.
No, this is great.
I hope not.
This is well, it's doing one of two things right now. It's either making a lot of people nervous out there,
Sure,
because they feel like, whoa, this sounds really overwhelming. That's why you do it in advance.
You give yourself
one
time.
thing at a time. And some people out there, it's going to make them feel like, a little pat on the back. I've done some of these things, So this is good. This is all about awareness.
Well,
that's why we talk about it.
I believe clients hire us to give them unbiased advice. If we're there just to agree with them, if we're there to agree with them, I don't know what kind of good we would be doing for them. There's going to be times in our relationship where we are going to have difficult conversations.
Yeah.
And the one conversation that gets me every time, and I hate having it, is when a client is dead set on a specific retirement date.
Wow, yeah.
And I have to go back to them and say, it's really in your best interest to work another 3 years.
Yeah.
Or we got to adjust this out of the budget. Or, we need to make significant adjustments to what they had as a vision for retirement.
Mm-hmm.
So doing the work earlier makes the outcome a lot easier for everyone, and it's more manageable.
Makes sense.
So now we'll get into the fun stuff. Part of your retirement checklist should be to test drive retirement. What is retirement going to look like?
Right.
So for a lot of our clients, they have this idea of maybe living elsewhere outside of their primary residence for a month or two a year, or spending summers in a certain place, or buying a second home.
Yeah.
Okay. Go out and test drive that. Go actually, we like to say, go spend a couple weeks there, actually unpack, go to the grocery store, go meet the local, the locals, get involved in the community, see if it's really what you thought it was.
Yeah.
So
that reminds me of a movie.
Let's see, Mr. Movie here. Let's see.
Funny Farm with Chevy Chase. Where he ditches the city, and he has this grand idea of kind of retiring
He's
from
a
the
novelist.
grind. He's gonna go write his novel,
Novel. Okay, yeah.
and if you haven't seen this movie, go see it.
Do you
Just
remember
make
the dog? Do you remember the dog? He got the dog,
oh
and the
yeah,
dog just takes off.
just runs into the pond. Yeah, so it's a twofer, by the way, because you can watch that and Christmas Vacation. You can make it a Chevy Chase holiday. But anyway, yeah, go, especially if you're gonna, like, on another note, if you're gonna expat it and go overseas, a lot of people are talking about doing that now.
Yes.
America is on fire, basically. I'm moving out of the country. I'm going to Belize or
Sure.
Europe. I'm moving to Amsterdam or Switzerland or wherever. I've known people that talked about go stay
Go
there
test
for a
those
little bit.
waters. Yeah.
That's harder to manage if that doesn't quite work out. But I guess the moral of the story is do your due diligence.
Yeah, absolutely.
And enjoy it.
Yeah.
Have a good time, but it'll probably answer some questions for you.
I just got this vision of the God, there's so many scenes in that movie of the mailman just blasting by with a cloud of dust and the mail everywhere.
Instant classic, man. I could watch it once a week at least.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So not only if you're looking to live elsewhere, part-time in retirement, or full-time, relocate, completely flip the script there.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of clients too that have this idea of maybe opening a small business. I'm going to open a cute little coffee shop on the corner. I'm going to be done from work with work by 2:00. We're open 6 to 2.
Yep.
It'll be easy. Go walk a few days in those shoes and make sure that's actually what you want to do before you go out and buy a business or you open your own small business.
Yeah, like the coffee shop. Like go be a barista on a Saturday at the busiest Starbucks on the planet.
Right.
Tell me how that goes. That's hard work.
Starbucks is a little different, but yes,
it can be a little stressful.
What if you find out that it's actually work and you're having
retired
to wash
to get a job?
Dishes for retirement, or you're keeping the books, which you find out you don't really like doing.
Yeah. And we're not killing the dream here,
No.
but do your due diligence.
Yeah.
Do your homework.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
And then when it comes to retirement, we also focus on kind of the mental balance of it, and we encourage clients to, when they do identify a date, retire from work on a positive note. And so what does that mean? That means identify your final project, or how do you want to leave your mark within that company? Or if it's your own company, how do you want to pass the baton on? Do you just want to lock up shop and walk away and never turn back? Do you want to leave a positive impact within the workplace?
Yeah.
So that has a lot of positives, not only for those obviously that are your former coworkers, but also for you personally, knowing that you gave it your all. It's a good way to go out.
Yeah. Great advice.
Awesome.
I like it.
Well, we appreciate you tuning in. If you have any questions about any of these topics, please don't hesitate to reach out. And I want to remind you that this is, to our clients out there, this is your library. So if there's anything you want us to cover, please don't hesitate to reach out, and we'd be happy to do so. And we'll see you next week.